Hey YouTube, what is up? Welcome. My name is Tanya Archer, and on this channel I mostly do natural hair videos and then sometimes some random ones. Today I decided to talk about something that's kind of related, well yeah, really related to hair, and also do a little get ready with me as I talk. So as you can tell from the title, I kind of suffer from this thing. It's weird to say even say that I suffer from this thing, but in all seriousness and honesty, I do or did suffer from this hardcore. I'm gonna be doing my hair in a crochet style, by the way, as I talk. So yeah, today I'm gonna be talking to you guys about my story with Trichotillomania, and which is basically, just for short, a disorder in which you pull out hair from your head, almost like as a way to deal with things. So I first came to realize that this was an issue when I was in high school. It was maybe like 9th grade of high school, and that's when I realized that I'm pulling out my hair every time I'm stressed, or I'm pulling out my hair every time I'm anxious or sad or mad or any kind of negative emotion. I pull out my hair. It all started when I was transitioning from straightened, permed, like relaxed hair to natural hair, and I would kind of feel that there was a huge difference between my straight hair, like the ends of my hair were really straight, and then the root of my hair was really kinky. And for some reason, that really bothered me. Not that my hair was kinky or that my hair was straight. It bothered me that my hair had two completely different hair textures. And I just wanted it all to be one hair texture. And I would like feel the root of my hair and then feel the tips, and just, that would trigger me. I would just start like pulling out my hair. And that's how it all started. It didn't start because one day I was sad and started pulling out my hair. No, it started because I felt a difference between my hair textures, and from then on I started pulling because of anxiety and any kind of negative emotion. I specifically remember a time in high school I was writing a biology exam, and I had not prepared for this exam at all. I was not ready. I didn't know what I was getting into, couldn't answer one question on the entire exam. I was lost. So when the exam paper was placed in front of me and it was time to write the exam, I just felt an overwhelming, anxious feeling. I felt like a failure. I just thought of all the things that could possibly go wrong from me failing this exam. And as a way to kind of relax myself, I just put my hand in my head. I picked one specific spot, and I would kind of single out hairs and just pull them out. And that was what I was doing at my exam desk. Sit there and literally just pluck out hairs with my fingers and not write anything on the test. And by the end of it, I had plucked out so many hairs and I didn't write anything on my exam at all. It was literally blank. And I had a pile of all the hairs that I plucked out right beside my exam paper, and I didn't even realize what I was doing until the end, when, you know, everyone's handing in their exam, and I'm sitting there with a blank exam and just a pile of hair that I plucked out. And I think that exact moment, that point, was the exact moment that I was like, wow, something is wrong with me. I just found enjoyment and relaxation out of plucking out my hair in one spot. By the end of it, I had a bald spot. And yeah, that's when I realized this isn't normal. Maybe I should talk to somebody about this. Like, this is not cool. And so obviously I ran home, and okay, I didn't talk to anyone about it, but I did hop on the internet and Google, why am I pulling out my hair when I'm stressed? And that's when I realized that I do indeed have trichotillomania, and that it's a problem, and it's like a compulsive thing that people do when they're under high stress or anxiety. So that was kind of a relief, finding out that I'm not the only one. Like, I don't know why I thought like, okay, I'm a complete weirdo and I'm not the only one in the world that does this. So yeah, it was a huge relief knowing that, you know, there's other people out there that actually go through the motion of this disorder. So after I, you know, read up the definition and realized what this thing is called, I kind of felt a lot better. It's not like it cured it or, you know, like it went away, but it did make me feel a lot better knowing that other people in the world struggle with this and I'm not alone. That feeling of like not being alone in something that's kind of bothering you is just such a relief. But still, I didn't tell anybody about it. Didn't tell my mom, didn't tell my parents, like my brother, my siblings. I didn't tell anyone, not my friends, anyone, because I was embarrassed. I'm like, yo, there's so many people struggling with a whole array, a crazy amount of disorders out there, like, you know, extreme things that really bother people and even kill people, and I'm pulling my hair out when I'm stressed and anxious. Like, you know, I didn't feel like it was a big enough deal to burden people with. But the sad reality of that, because I didn't tell anyone, it was all on me, and I was dealing with it by myself, and it was burdening me so much, like out of this world. It was such like a heavy weight on my shoulder, on my heart, on my mind. I would always think about it and just always think about, maybe if I tell someone I can be cured, or this doesn't have to happen anymore. But again, at the back of my mind, it was always like, nah, it's not that serious. It's okay. I'll deal with it by myself. And I definitely think that was like something that I shouldn't have done, like dealt with it myself. My mom is a really smart lady, and she knows when something is wrong with me and bothering me, and she actually was the first person to notice that I was, you know, pulling out my hair. She would see me sitting on the couch just staring into the distance and pulling out my hair, and she would be like, Tanya, like, what's going on? Why are you pulling out your hair? And I'd always dismiss it as a habit, like, oh, no reason, just a habit. But of course, she caught on and realized that it wasn't just a habit, and it wasn't something that I was doing for the heck of it or out of boredom. She put two and two together and realized that I did it every time that I looked stressed or anxious. Her finding out was really helpful, because every time she saw it, she would be like, Tanya, hands out of your head right now. Tanya, hands out of your hair right now. You know, like she would kind of like snap me out of it, because every time I pull my hair, I would just be literally lost, like be plucking out my hair and just staring into the distance in deep thought. And before I realize it, I have a bald spot. It's really weird. I was never really aware of myself doing it in the moment of doing it, but I'd always realize after, and it was just like so much shame. Like, what did I just do? Like, why did I just do that? Like, I just felt really icky about myself. And then of course I'd feel the bald spots and be like, wow, what did I just do? The craziest thing is I actually still can feel my like specific target spots. Like right here is where I would target the most, where I would pluck my hair out the most. And right over here, like these two spots was where I would pull it out the most. And yeah, to this day, when I touch those spots, I can feel that feeling of pulling out my hair still. Like I can feel that exact feeling of pulling out my hair. And the saddest part is, like, when I touch those spots while doing my hair, it still kind of brings a little bit of comfort to me to feel the soreness of that spot, which is really messed up. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand why I like that feeling, but I guess that's the disorder. Like, I can't really explain it. A lot of people probably notice that I change my hair very often. I have new hairstyles like every week, or like twice a month or so. And a lot of people are always like, wow, Tanya, you changed your hair again, or wow, Tanya, you cut your hair again. Like, and the real truth behind that stems from this disorder. The reason I change my hair so much, or the reason that I'm always experimenting in new styles, is because I want to distract myself from pulling my hair out. It's kind of like a alternate coping mechanism that I do to cope with, you know, little life things like anxiety, stress, you know, depression. I kind of try to change my trichotillomania into me doing my hair instead of me pulling it out. This is also why I cut my hair so much. Like I don't think anyone's probably ever seen me with shoulder length hair or hair that's really long, and that's because every time my hair gets to a certain length, I cut it. And the reason I cut it is because shorter hair is less, it makes me less tempted to pull it out. When my hair's longer, then that's when I'm like, you know, more tempted to pull it out. I remember always being confused by people who have the urge to cut themselves or harm themselves in some way when they're sad, you know, like people that are emo. That's what they were labeled as in grade 8 at least. And I just always remember thinking, wow, why do they want to hurt themselves? Why do they think that that cures their emotion? Or like, you know, what is it? I didn't understand. But honestly, I fully understand. It might not make sense to me personally and for me personally, but I understand why they do it. It's really something that they do to calm themselves down from their emotion, to like, so they can cope with what they're dealing with. And yes, it's dangerous and it's not healthy for them, but it's an urge. And I don't know, picture trying to resist an urge that's really, really strong. Like if you haven't drank water in days and you have the urge to drink water, like, you know, you need to, but like you also have that urge to drink it. And now picture not, you know, saying no and like not drinking that water. That might sound a little extreme, but that's really what unhealthy urges feel like, or like disorders like that feel like. I think it's really important for people to know that everyone has a thing that they deal with, and just because you can't see it or you don't hear about it doesn't mean that they're not going through it or dealing with it. And if you're dealing with something, you know, I guarantee your next door neighbor is dealing with something, your dog is dealing with something, everyone's dealing with something. So like we're all in this together, this world, this life, dealing with it, dealing with our things that like occupy us. So now you guys know why I change my hair so much. I mean, I enjoy changing my hair and I enjoy doing my hair, but it's also for health reasons. I'm just gonna finish up the rest of my hair and then I'll show you guys what the finished product looks like. Thank you for watching once again. Subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment, and I will see you guys in my next video. Toodles! Bye!